happening, people? Welcome back to Ches99. First things first, love for 1K subs. Really appreciate that. But don't forget now, there's a new target. 2,000 subs we want to hit very, very soon. So everybody joins the live. Subscribe to me and all the panelists you see. So big everybody. Big everyone in the chat who's there nice and early as well. Love to see people in it early. Comment where you're from. Comment if you enjoy the content with my guys here. VD, Jim, and Ash. Some debutants. You man saying?
Yeah, not bad, man.
Pick up. Personal life going well, football life going absolute garbage. But we'll talk about it.
Yeah, just literally went to drink an ice cold bottle of water, and it was so cold it went down my whole chest. You know, just cold right now.
Wait, is brain freeze the same thing as that?
What? Dropping?
No. Brain freeze hits you here, like in the head. When you eat that quickly, something cold, and your brain just feels like it's frozen. It hurts, bro.
I never got that. My thing was sensitive. You man get sensitive like teeth when you have cold items as well.
Yeah,
that's normal. Yeah.
I don't get it. I bite my ice lollies and stuff like that, and it kind of just went. Like if I'm eating an ice lolly, I'll just chomp it inside my fingers. I can't. Like whittling it down is just a bit long.
I've never been a chomper of ice lollies.
Do you know, I never used to yet, but I used to watch my brother do it, and I was like, that looks efficient, you know? I was like, it looks so efficient. I started doing it, I hurt my teeth, and I was like, I gotta keep pushing through. I pushed through, it just went.
That's funny, man. But guys, don't forget, yeah, Ash isn't by himself. There are Arsenal fans coming in this chat, so don't worry. Ash don't get ambushed. And trust me, Ash can hold his own as well. He's not, you know what I'm saying? He's a very competent guy. So big up everyone in the building already. Get into the chat. But very simple question for Jem, first time on here. We'll get BD and Ash's opinion afterwards. How are you feeling about Chelsea's? So we're near at the halfway point of the season, so we'll get right into it. Do you think we are overrated in any way? So that's a negative question, but do you think our team is overrated?
I don't think it's overrated. I think it's over-exceeding, because I don't think any Chelsea fan or any rival could sit here and say they expected Chelsea to be second and 4 points behind Liverpool and be ahead of Arsenal and Man City, because there's no way in hell I don't think anyone would have predicted that. But that just goes to show how well our manager's done and how well the players have done. Because last year we were very reliant on one I'd say one individual in Cole Palmer in carrying us through the season. As for this season, it's not just Cole Palmer FC. It's, you know, it's Caicedo, it's Jackson, it's, you know, Enzo
Chelsea
now. You know,
now it's Chelsea now. It's not.
Yeah, it's Chelsea. Exactly. You know, we're not Corner FC. We're just Chelsea FC. You know, so I just wind him up.
I call me off guard. You know,
we're in a good place at the moment, mate, and. Yeah, long may it continue. Right now, it's just about us being consistent and doing our thing at the moment, you know. So let's see.
100%. VD, are we overrated?
Think
about what I mean. What I mean by overrated is like, do you think we aren't as good, not as the position says we are, but do you think that people on our own fan base propelling us to be in title challenges is warranted based off how we've been? Is our start even as good as we think it is? That's the kind of question I'm posing.
I think it's weird, right? Because I think we underachieved massively last season with the squad we had, right? There wasn't a manager that was using our players, and I kept saying, bring in a manager with structure, which is why one of the managers I wanted, the one I wanted was Nagelsmann, but one of the other ones I was pushing for was the Zerbi, because he had a structure in place and stuff like that, and he had a system that would get the best out of these players. And I said, bring in a manager with structure, and we will start pushing very, very far. We will start to make proper strides. I think also our success also comes with Arsenal and City underperforming. Like if they were performing and they were winning their games, and you know they weren't being as dross as they are at the moment, where would we be sitting? Because maybe we'd be sitting in fourth, and it wouldn't look as glamorous for us. Title challenge talks, I think it's still a bit premature. Like I'd love to be in the title thing, and it looks like we are, right? It looks like we're in the title race, but again, Arsenal and City are underperforming, so it kind of forces us to be into that narrative. But I'm not going to say that we're going to be winning or challenging for a title, shall I say, until after the January 25th when we play City. So after the 11 stretch match thing that we got in with, what, 4 games into that 11 match stretch, we have City. If we beat City, I think that's when we can say, do you know what? We need to now treat this like a title challenge. Obviously, still take it game by game, but keep it in your mind that we're in a title challenge. You have to be that's the one that gets me. It's the City game. If you do not beat them, then like what's the point? You can beat all of these small teams, cool, but we need to nick the points of them. We need to nick the points of Arsenal. We need to nick the points of Liverpool. Obviously, it's not going to happen to every Big Six game, but we have to steal them off of someone. And when we do, starting with City, that's when I say, you know, we're in a title race. That's when I'll say that all the talk is warranted. Levi Cole even said a thing. He said, a team that's in the title race doesn't go 2-0 down. And like that was like a new perspective for me. I was like, wow, do you know what? He's kind of right there, right? Because I mean, you don't go 2-0 down, you don't make these mistakes. You don't have obviously Kukurea slipped and stuff, but you don't have Sanchez messing up from the back, and you don't have Levi maybe not getting across the body well, and you got to be solid to be in a title race. So I think overrated, I don't think is the right word. I'm not really sure what the word is. I think maybe people are expecting a bit too much from us now, when realistically we kind of wanted to go under the radar and do our business, but it's kind of been pushed to the forefront. So
Yeah,
I
I
don't
agree
think
with that.
overrated is the word, but it's something like that. Maybe it's a bit, people are a bit overzealous. They're a bit over exaggerating our position.
Yeah, I think Ash is as a rival currently here. Big up everyone in the chat. Like, hit the like button, subscribe to all the people on the channel as well. Ash, in terms of the rated, what's the word I'm looking for? The rated trajectory we're on. Where would you like place us? If there was a meter. So where would you put us in terms of, you know, like semicircle meters? So you got overrated or underrated. Where would you put us in terms of that range currently?
So it depends where most Chelsea fans think they are right now. Like if in terms of the position, like where you guys are in, I think you're definitely overachieving for sure. It's a fantastic season. I don't think anyone expected that. But again, just to go back to obviously what my man was saying, like the reality
VD.
is, VD, big up VD. The reality is, like as VD said, this is also being contributed by the fact that City and Arsenal have underachieved this season. I think if Arsenal and City were achieving the way most people expected them to, and let's say we were like second and third close behind Liverpool, and Chelsea were where they are right now, everyone would be like, yeah, damn, Chelsea is doing well. I don't think anyone would be looking down at Chelsea and be like, they should be even higher. I think the fact that they are second, maybe that definitely paints a picture about them, that they have done quite well, but it also speaks high, like it says a lot also about how City and Arsenal have fallen beyond what people are expecting. In terms of Chelsea themselves, in terms of the points they have, the number of wins they have this season, I think you guys are, at least for me personally, I think you guys are performing better than what I expected. I thought you guys would challenge for top 4. I thought it'd be like a close battle. I thought there'll be like a 3-4 teams like challenging fiercely for the top 4 until the last few game weeks. And right now, you guys look like you're going to run away with it. Forget running away with it. If City and Arsenal don't get their shit together, which I think they will. I don't think they'll win the league, but I think they will get their shit together to finish above Chelsea. Even then, I think Chelsea will comfortably finish top 4. And I think if you guys get your summer transfer window correct, which you have to now, I think you definitely will challenge for the league proper like next season until the very end. I'm not saying you guys cannot do it now. I just feel this is where people are not taking certain things into account, because I know how it was for us when we first challenged 2 seasons ago. It's difficult sometimes to go through the same performance throughout the season. And I think when you guys come to like March, April, May, fixtures get more difficult. I know Conference League, you guys are not taking it that seriously. You're playing your second team. But I think at that time, you might also start seeing like 5-6 starters play in the Conference League quarterfinals, semifinals, because now you got to that point, you'll want to win it, obviously. Like, and I think even Maresca will take it slightly more seriously. I think that's when there'll be a slight dip in Chelsea's form. But if I was a Chelsea fan, I wouldn't panic about that, because that's a very normal trajectory for a team that's just been recently built and is going through that stride right now. But your summer, this coming summer, is extremely important.
There's a point in there which you said, which I want to ask Ads if he's there. Ads, you there? Because I asked him if he's there. If not, I asked Jem.
Yeah, I'm here, bro. I'm here.
Yeah, calm, bro. What are you saying? Big up Ads in the building. It's been a long time.
Yeah, big up, bro. Big up, big up.
That's just something like he doesn't see us sustaining it, and also like he doesn't see us like title challenging the rest of the season. So his assumption at the moment we're overachieving. The other two teams that are below us currently will get to their level, therefore meaning we'll drop down. Do you think Chelsea can maintain this level and keep getting results? Not always wins, but draws and not losing games, getting results to better the Arsenal and City ones, or do you expect City and Arsenal to overtake us throughout the season?
It's a good question. It's a good question. But firstly, big up you, Ches. Big up the panel. Big up everybody watching right now, listening. Smash the like button and everything. Get involved in the comments and that. But yeah, man, we definitely can, and that's the main thing for me. That is that at this stage of the season, we can actually say that we can go and push for the title. Maybe we can go and win it. We couldn't say that last season. Right now, United fans can't say that. Tottenham fans can't say that. You know, we actually say that we can, and I think I agree with everything that the Arsenal fan here said. We definitely are overachieving at this stage, and it looks better than probably maybe than it is because being 7 points off top at this stage of the season, 14, 15 games in, it's not that amazing. But because we're above City, we're above Arsenal, it looks actually all right. And again, our points tally for where we are in the season, what we would expect, it certainly is very good. Now, for me, I always say this, and this isn't a cop out because people have to say, "Oh, you're in the title race now. Say it. You're in the title race. You're gonna win it." Like because you're trying to just look to draw man out for whatever reason. It's a weird mentality that fans do these days. But my stance is always that the title race really doesn't start until Valentine's Day for me. Early Feb, you can even say maybe late Jan. That's when it really starts. Right now, it's just conversation. We're just talking about it. You know, we're having a conversation of whether we're going to go and complete the marathon. Because if this was an actual marathon, a 25-mile run, you don't look at who's top or who's first after 5 or 6 miles. You don't really care. Why do you care? You look at who's there when it really starts to count. And right now, it doesn't count as of right now. However, we look like a team who can go and do it. And that's great for me. That's great. If you're looking at our fixtures coming up, we can go and extend this winning run that we have and potentially do something that a lot of people weren't expecting us to do. And that's exciting for a Chelsea fan.
I just want to quickly interject here. I wanted to say, it might be a bit of a hot take. I don't think Chelsea are overachieving on any sort of level. I think if you look at our opponents, I mean, we lost against City at the start of the season, who were top and obviously in form. We lost against Liverpool. Like we drew against an out of form United and Arsenal. Both were out of form at the time. We just kind of made work of what we've done. We've just dusted up the smaller teams. You know, we drew against Palace. What did we draw against Bournemouth? I think we drew against Bournemouth.
No, we beat Bournemouth away.
We beat them. We should have lost that game. We should have lost that game. But
that's a great point.
Other teams as well is like we've just kind of done the job that we were supposed to do that we weren't doing last year and the year before that and things that we weren't doing before. I don't think we're underachieving and I don't think we're overachieving. I think we're just doing our thing. And the fact that again Arsenal and City are underachieving, it just makes us look a bit better. I think we're just coasting. We're coasting. We're doing our thing. We're winning the games that we should be winning, and I think that's it. I don't think it's either or. I just think maybe the position in the league just flatters us a little bit.
I think that's a fair point. To be honest, I think it's a fair point. Because again, like I said, if City and Arsenal were above us, we would be looking at saying, okay, we're 4th or 7 points off top, which would still be pretty good. Maybe a little bit over what we would expect, but I think it just looks a lot better because we're actually second and we're above again 4P in City. And we're above Arsenal, who, again, this was meant to be their year. This is the year they have to go and do it. They are in phase 5 or 6 or whichever phase it is. And right now, unless they get a set piece, they're not really looking at threatening in games. So it is certainly a good spot that we are in now. Again, I'm not going to do predictions from here, but certainly it wouldn't surprise me if Arsenal will go and overtake us. I think they probably still are favourites to be closer to the title than us in May because, again, they've got the experience. They've been doing this for 2-3 years. It's just, are they going to get over the line? And right now, we haven't seen it. Yeah, but again, that's the funny thing about Arsenal. We're talking about if they strengthen. They didn't wait 20 years to be in the position that they are in now where they can go and win the league. Going into the season, I said, you know what, before the transfer window, I said Arsenal are going to win the league because I thought, you know what, City, 4 in a row, winning a treble, at some point there's going to be a fall-off. I didn't know it was going to be this season this bad, but I thought at some point there's going to be a fall-off. And I thought Arsenal, you know what, if you attack the right areas in the transfer market, you should be favourites for this league. But then going into the season, I was like, not really, because What did you do in the attack? You sold a lot of good depth, or at least depth in terms of Smith Rowe, Vieira, all these other people, and you signed our 7th choice winger. That's what they did to their attack. So that's why going into the season, I'm like, yeah, they should go and do something in January, but you had the opportunity there. Like you've been waiting for 21 years to go and win the league, and you signed Sterling, you're like 20th centre back, and Marino. Like that, what kind of transfer window was that when you're looking to win the league? It's ridiculous.
Ash, do you agree with that?
No, I disagree. I'll disagree. So first thing I'll say, actually, I'll just respond to one thing VD said regarding Chelsea. I actually think you need to give your team a lot more credit in that, because one thing that people take for granted in the Premier League is they say, well, we just did our job, like against the Bournemouths and against the Brentfords or against the Brightons. The reality is it never works like that in the Premier League, because big teams lose to these small teams, right? The reason why most of our clubs underperform in many seasons is because we don't actually do this job against these teams, right? So when you're actually doing that job against these teams, yes, I know you drew at home to Crystal Palace and to Forest, fair enough, that those weren't good results, but outside that, the games you should have won, you did win them, and that's something you can never say every season. Every season, the big teams will drop a lot of points against these small teams. That's what makes it a very exciting league, and that's what makes it like an up and down kind of thing, right? So that's what I think Chelsea definitely deserve a lot of credit there.
That's true.
In regards to Arsenal, I actually don't think our squad depth is an issue. Yeah, I understand the Sterling signing was kind of weird. I get it. Like, we needed to get a backup for Saka. Like, I don't know if they tried getting someone else and nobody wanted to come, because I heard we were linked with like Rafinha and Sane. To be honest, none of these guys would have come to play like second fiddle. Like, let's be honest. And any right winger in the world you're linked with, they know, like, yeah, but this guy's got Saka. Like, they're not going to bench Saka for me. So I wasn't that mad about. Yeah, the left wing, definitely. We were looking at certain left wingers like Lookman and Nico Williams. I wish we ended up going for one of them, because the reality is, I think we need to move on past one of these two, Martinelli or Trossard. I would say probably Trossard, because he's much older than Martinelli, and I still think Martinelli is a squad player, can be of some threat coming off the bench. We didn't do that, but the reason I don't blame our squad depth, by the way, and I know you've mentioned that we've let go of certain attacking threats, I don't think that matters, because these guys weren't used last season. Even when we needed them, like Vieira, like Smith Rowe, like Nketiah, like Reece Nelson, he still didn't trust them, which is fine for me, as long as you end up using the players you did trust to keep. Like Waneri, for example. You kept him, and when you sold Vieira and Smith Rowe, because you're like, yeah, I trust this teenager. He seems like he has a lot of talent. But you barely played him when Odegaard was out, and he had the opportunities to play, right?
Yep.
There are certain games where I thought Trossard should start there, fair enough. But in other games, he definitely had a chance to play him, and he didn't play him. And a lot of the reasons why I think we have failed in some games, if you exclude the red cards, for example, exclude the games where we got a man sent off, you look at Newcastle and you look at this game against Fulham and even against Liverpool, I don't think it had anything to do with squad depth. I think it had to do with the way he ended up asking our players to play. For example, Liverpool, that second half, we were very, very slow in our attack. We were not building. The thing with Arteta, and you guys will notice this if you watch a lot of Arsenal games, he's too scared to concede now that he doesn't let players go forward. Saka came in early October, saying, we're all more attack-minded, but because of the manager's instructions, we have to defend a lot more. He didn't say it in a dig at Arteta, but these are actually his words. He said the manager's asking us to do a lot of defensive work, and we respect it, we have to do it. But all of us want to attack a lot more, actually. It's literally something he said. It's all like fabricated. So that tells you that these guys are being restricted. Liverpool yesterday would have easily won against Fulham because they would have opened the game a lot more. We don't do that enough.
I think the truth, this kind of segued us inadvertently towards Arsenal, but we'll go back to Chelsea.
Sorry, I have a habit of doing that. My bad.
No, there's not. It's not at all. It's fun. This is sick. This is what I wanted. So I got all guys, specifically asked all of you guys individually to jump on. It was for a reason. I knew you guys have this like analytical conversation. But I think for Jem to have his say as well, I think the truth lies somewhere in the middle in terms of the Chelsea and the Arsenal point, in terms of the squad and the management. Because Chelsea last season won 19 points, this season won 31. Also, this time last year won 36 points, and now they're on 29. So that's a big swing either way. So to add this point and to Ash's point, if you use that, okay, Jem, there is an element of truth to what they're saying. To like Chelsea's squad is improved, where we have more adaptability, but it's also the manager having faith in the squad, etc. And that's having benefit in terms of beating the teams that VD said we should beat. But in Arsenal, with the same squad, aren't doing the teams they should be either. So where you lying with that? Because it's good points either way.
Yeah, no, it's one of them ones that I kind of agree with what they're both saying. To be fair, I think looking at it from my team's perspective, I think what Ads was saying in regards to depth is a key thing, because even though we are playing Europa Conference football, we are able to make as many rotational changes as we are, which is important because that means we're keeping the team fresh for Premier League games, and that's part why people like Palmer, for example, are not playing in them games at the moment. And I think that's been a big reason of it. I think Maresca's man management at the moment is very good for a very large squad as well, to be able to keep everyone happy from what we know up to this point now, and give them the minutes and bring them in when he needs to bring them in, and so whatever has been very important. I don't know, like from the Arsenal perspective of things, like I do think, and Ash might disagree with me a little bit, but I do think that the levels did drop for you guys when you lost Odegaard, because I think when I look at your squad, I see that you're strong in certain areas. Like if you lose Rice, you've got Pai. If you lose Pai, you've got Jorginho. You've got that sort of strength and depth in that area. And when I look at Chelsea, we sort of have that across the pitch. Maybe not in the striker area, because I do actually want another striker as a Chelsea fan. But we're having Kungu and Jackson and Gyökeres. Yeah, that.
That's the one. That's the real striker right there.
Yeah. But then you look at Arsenal's defence, and the same. You've got the cover there, but you just look at. For me, you just lack it a little bit in the attacking areas. And when you lost Odegaard, you did lose that sort of creativity, in your team. And when I used to watch us, you just struggled to really, other than getting it out to Saka and him trying to create and Havertz doing what he can and whatever in the team at the time, you just seem to struggle to have that fluidity in your game. And that does go down to you just not strengthening in the summer. And that's why your point lost.
Sorry, Jim, just to add to your point, because you're making a great point, because last season, the reason why squad depth wasn't that much of an issue is because Arsenal had an amazing season in terms of everybody being fit for pretty much the whole year. And that was quite an anomaly. You don't really normally get seasons like that. Again, Chelsea had 12 man out at any stage in the season, all season. Same with United. Liverpool had their injuries here and there with the likes of Jota going out and whatnot, right? So like Arsenal had a clean bill of health. And then you sold your depth. Well, obviously you didn't need them last season, but if Odegaard got injuries last season, you would have had Smith Rowe to step in there and maybe do something. So that's the only reason why I bring up depth, which is now a concern this season, because when Odegaard went out, there was a clear hole in the team. And if Saka goes out, okay, then you got to rely on a Sterling or something. So that changes the dynamic completely.
In their most important areas is what I'm trying to get at, because when you look at Saka and you look at Odegaard, these are like their most important players, along with their defense, Saliba's and their Declan Rice's and that, that's their core. When you look at their core, that's what they go through. But then you look at what comes off the bench, and people are like, look, I rate Trossard. I actually liked him, but he's even been a little bit weird. I'm seeing him, recently in games. He's not really been that guy to turn up and just knock balls in the back of the net like he usually does as well. So I think you do need a little bit of a freshen up at the same time. And as for us, I think we're just lucky to this point now that we've just not had the injuries that we had last year. All right, we've lost Reece James, but we have Malo Gusto, for example. And I'm not saying he's up at the same level as Reece James, but the levels don't drop drastically anymore. And that's the big difference with Chelsea between the Chelsea now and the Chelsea from 2-3 seasons ago. To this point, we have depth now, in many areas.
To be specific, I would admit, I don't know if Ahmed wants to agree, just join bigger Ahmed in the chat, Bridge 258. If we lost Lavia, Ash, I feel like that could have a similar impact on you losing Odegaard, I'll be honest. I feel like someone like Lavia, I don't really feel like we have a replacement for his technical ability in terms of that midfield role.
We don't, but we can still play Caicedo and Enzo in the pivot.
I think Caicedo will be the bigger loss. I think Caicedo will be probably the bigger loss.
Maybe the one
we lost Caicedo.
For me, Caicedo is definitely one where
Caicedo's
Lavia has a unique ability in what he does as well. So both those midfielders, we lost one of them. It could have an Arsenal effect, but the difference between our squad and yours is that we've got a lot more players that can cover the positions. You don't.
Yeah.
You have Havertz who can play cam, play 8, but he's not efficient at it. Whereas I don't mind Enzo in the 8 position or a 10 even.
So you're referring only to the 10 Odegaard position, right? Because everywhere else we have that depth. If in the
Yeah,
8, in the 6,
everywhere else
in
we
the
have
back
that
4.
We have that depth also everywhere else. That's what I'm saying. Just that position for us. I think our
Is your
weakest
depth
Yeah,
quality
just the
for
Odegaard
Saka
position,
then?
yeah.
No, is your
Sorry?
depth, is your quality for in terms of Saka's position? Do you believe that you still have the quality?
Saka's position and even striker, because I know people are looking at Havertz, and I was saying this all summer. I know since he started playing as a striker, which is Jan of last year, or Jan of this year, sorry, his numbers have been good. I get it, fair enough. But I've always said this is just a purple patch. The real Havertz will be seen soon. Which is why I wanted us to get a striker, and I wanted us to get...
The what? March Madness, Havertz, yeah?
Yeah, I literally said it in
March
the summer. I said it
Madness,
all
man,
summer
every
that we needed to
Chelsea.
get it. But in every other position, like if you look... By the way, if you look at... This is why I also praise our depth this season, at least in most areas. For example,
my
against
new favorite
Fulham...
Arsenal fan, you know.
Against Fulham, we had 5... Against Fulham, we had 5 of our... Yeah, I'm not like...
Oh, really good.
He's finally one of those that aren't tweeting like "Thank you Chelsea" with
saying.
the sofa score rating or whatever.
No.
Havertz, man.
Let me get the one
again,
assist for Sterling. Thank you for Sterling after one assist.
Again, I will give this to Arteta, because even as a striker, I didn't think he'll perform the way he did this year. So fair enough there, but I still don't think he's a striker moving forward for us. But if you look at, for example, against Fulham, we had 5 of our 8 defenders out injured, right? And we still managed to have, I don't want to say a good back four, but a decent enough back four that was able to do something. And yeah, I know we conceded that 1 goal, but we still did well. Midfield this season, we lost Rice in 1 game, we lost Partey in another game. Actually, we lost Rice in a couple of games, and we still managed to cover well. It's just that Saka position, which honestly has been an issue for the last 2 seasons. But the reason why it hasn't affected us as much is because thank God, I don't want to jinx him, but somehow this guy has been incredibly fit. Like, even when he gets injured and I know people make the joke, he limps out, he still comes back the next game. So that's actually, we have been lucky in that department. With Odegaard, unfortunately, he has Waneri. He didn't trust him when there was the opportunity, in which case Arteta definitely has to hold that.
Do you not think Sterling should be the backup to Saka? Like, I know he plays off the left, but I think like the common fault of Sterling is he's better on the right, because it forces him to create, because he can't cut in, because his left foot isn't as great. Like, surely you'd think Trossard on the left for the backup to Martinelli, and then on the right it would be Saka, but Sterling. But also you can have Sterling on the left if you wanted to.
Yeah.
So every single time I hear someone say like Saka hasn't got backup, why is Sterling not playing there? Like, Sterling is good on the right.
VDK, you know the answer to this question. Why are you asking this question, big man?
Yeah, so here's the thing. It's a good question. It's a good question. I'm glad Saad joined now, because that was my thought, VD, in the summer. I said, if it's just as a backup and he's only going to be backup all season to rest Saka a little bit, I don't mind Sterling if we can get the Sterling of like 2 seasons ago or something like that. I don't mind. And I even argued that Jesus as backup, if it's just backup, I don't mind him. Now I've changed my mind on both. Because every time those two have got minutes this season, they have looked worse than an under-21 team. They have looked so damn dross. They've even started games in the League Cup. They had good games in the League Cup, and then they sucked the next game.
Ash, did Sterling even come on the other day?
No. He's in the Premier League. The last time he's come on was...
wasn't it Bournemouth where he started and got hooked?
Yeah, but there was another game where he came off the bench, I think.
He's finished.
Yes. Imagine giving him Sterling. Imagine giving him Sterling to get this version of Sancho as well. It just makes it even better.
I genuinely would be more patient for Sterling than Jesus.
Was a good point for me because on holiday, but I was hearing Tross in my ears. So when I'm on the beach trying to enjoy myself and listen to content, I'm hearing, Sterling's gonna be a revival and Sancho's gonna be a flop. Based off what? Based off what? I don't get what everyone's basing it on. I don't get it.
Let me ask. I'll let you go.
I
was gonna say Sancho. Us calling Sancho, he's gonna be a flop. That wasn't outrageous to say, bro. He was consistently going down a downward spiral every time, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Going to the mountains and stuff.
But what about Dortmund? I mean, he went to a Champions League final with Dortmund.
That's fine. It's fine. He got there. He done good at Dortmund. Whatever. Sterling, I don't know what people were. I don't know what people were smoking when they said this shit about Sterling. I said this from the start. I don't know why we were like.
Bro, he told us it's gonna be his best season. He lied to us.
Yeah, what you seen? You're about to see the best.
Chelsea, bro.
Chelsea, let's go.
Chelsea are paying majority of the wages, and I still feel like I got robbed, bro. How do I still feel like I got robbed?
Bro. We saved Chelsea 100,000 a week, bro.
Bro, it's crazy.
We saved the money.
Bro, listen. Sterling
that's a good point. That's still a lot of money to be out there on that guy who's not playing football.
Bro, he's not worthy to come on for Saka.
No, he's Raheem the Dream, man. What are you talking about?
Raheem.
But anyway, man, big up Sard and A for joining as well. Big up Mandem for joining. Ash told you back up. I told you, you're not on your own today. Do you know what I'm saying? So now we could turn up the shameless meter a little because it's 2v2 in the club.
Listen, I'm press resistant. It's all good, bro. I'm like Gravenberch this season. It's fine.
But I'm gonna ask
not Gravenberch against Newcastle.
We asked a question to BD, yeah? I want to ask a question to everybody, but like brief responses, yeah? Do you think Chelsea's squad is better than Arsenal's?
100%. Not even, no shadow of a doubt. Do you know what it is, yeah? And I still think that we got a better squad than Liverpool, like a better squad. But Liverpool have a better team in it. Like their starting players is like Van Dijk would count for 2 points over Fofana or Colwill. Alisson would count for like 2 points over Sanchez. Salah would count 2 points over things. So like the squad, like as a squad as a whole, yes, because our backup is just so much better than Arsenal's. But maybe as a starting 11, if you go individual for individual, probably not as much because Saliba and Gabriel, they're incredible. Raya's better than Sanchez. Oh my god, I didn't even want to remember his name. See, I'm trying to log it out of my mind, man. You see, like Saka's better than Madueke, and it's like I think they probably just because of the centre backs alone. Obviously, Ødegaard as well. Ødegaard's fantastic. If you look at just the two centre backs alone, I think they bump it up. So I think they had the better starting 11. But I think as a whole, as a squad, I think Chelsea have the better squad because if Saliba and Gabriel go down, like it's not looking good for their backup as much. Like, and if Saka goes down again, you got Sterling. If Madueke goes down or Neto goes down, you got vice versa. You know what I mean? So yeah, 100%. I think we have the better squad. They have the better team.
Let me ask Arsenal fan, and we'll go to Jem. Ash, you can give yes or no if you want to, man. You don't have to go into depth like we did, but. Is there any position you would change also if you answer on?
Yeah. No. I think it's super close because I think our defensive depth is better. I think your attacking depth is definitely better. And I think the midfield is a toss-up because if I look at a starting midfield and your starting midfield, I rate your midfield a lot. I think Caicedo is the best DM in the league this season. One of the best midfielders in the league, if not the best. But if I look at our starting midfield of Partey, Rice, and Odegaard versus yours of Caicedo, Lavia, and Palmer, I think it's close, but I still rate our midfield more because I've seen our midfield do it over the last two seasons, I want to say. I know Rice wasn't with us 2 seasons ago, but I'm saying like Partey and Odegaard and then Rice last season. And I think your attack is better. And keeper, we definitely win. Our starting keeper, I think, is better than any keeper you could line up. But which is why I think it's pretty close. If you talk about just starting 11, yeah, 100% I agree with VD. I think our starting lineup is better. But the thing is, attack makes a big difference, to be honest, which is why like you guys might have an edge there.
First, Jim,
I don't. Shameless is kicking in, isn't it? I can feel it. It's tingling in my. I don't think their overall 11's that much better than us, personally. Like when I look at it, I think if I look at who I would take out of their team. Listen, I don't even want to say his name as well. Sanchez, I don't even know how he's still our number one goalie. Yeah, I get that one. Like 100%, I give him that. And arguably, I'd probably take Saliba. I think Gabriel is very good. I think Saliba and Gabriel is very good. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know. Like Gabriel, Fofana, Colwill. I don't know. In terms of
that. You would definitely take Saka at right wing, bro. Come on.
That's cheap.
I can't lie.
You would take Saka at right wing.
I'm taking Neto over Saka.
You're taking Neto over Saka
because he's more explosive. I think he's also way better at beating his man. That's what we need.
Can I tell you why that's the stinkiest take ever? Because Saka will 100% play more games than Neto, bro. Neto will 100% fall. Statistically, it's proven statistically that he will have an injury, bro. Saka doesn't go down, bro.
I won't be biased.
If I was a
saying-
Chelsea fan and I saw Saka limping after a stinker, my head would be
Oh,
absolutely
Yeah, but
fuming.
you know what?
My head would
BD,
be
the
popped.
one thing I would say about Saka. and
Hold
to
on.
be
No,
fair-
hold on.
to be
Palmer
fair
did
to
it.
him-
Palmer did it after the Man United game, bro. It's all good, bro. You saw it, man. It's all good.
Wasn't his ankle?
Anyway,
Guys,
issues,
that's
anyway,
like-
on a
on,
serious note, I think with Saka, when you look at his trajectory from where he's come to where he is at this point, he's been, for me, them argue their most important player, and he's still consistently been very good even to this point. Now they rely on him. He's a very good player. I think his dribbling ability is very good. I think his creativity is very good, and he does turn up for them. Don't turn up all the time, don't get wrong, but he does majority of the times turn up, and he has some sort of effect. If it doesn't mean he's scoring a goal, he'll have some sort of involvement in the game. So for Saka, I think he's definitely one that I would definitely have in a team with Palmer, because I think Saka and Palmer have to be.
See, mine would be
in my-
Odegaard or Saliba. Odegaard, Saliba, or Raya. They're the three I'm taking over Saka any day of the week. Any day. Of the
But then when I have to put
even
Enzo in there as
do
well.
you know what?
You don't
Even
have any
Declan
wingers
Rice.
as good as Saka, to be honest with you, bro.
No, but
I
I,
mean,
think
Saka-
he's saying. I think he's saying if you had to choose two, not if it's like an.
But
If I
we're
had to
not
choose,
even talking about
Saka
choosing. We're
probably
talking about
not even
who's
for me
like got
top
the
five.
better team. So we're talking about players that from their team that starting
Yeah, but
out.
imagine
Like,
this, boys. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give Andy's opinion as well. Right after I speak, if you put Saka in our Chelsea team or Raya in this Chelsea team, it elevates us a lot more.
It does.
Does that therefore mean that their squad is
I
better?
don't think Saka elevates us like
no,
that.
it's not
though.
even
Like,
the squad. I
I'm-
think we're looking at the team because I think we all can all agree Chelsea have the better.
If Saka comes into Chelsea, it would be the best team in the league by a country mile.
Can
What do
can
you
I-
mean?
can I
I
just-
just
can I just
don't.
say one
I
thing?
don't think Saka's as important. Like for me, personally, yeah, I'm taking Raya, Gabriel, Saliba, Rice, and Odegaard all over Saka.
That's
Can I
yeah,
give
that's
you
crazy.
one more
That's,
name?
that's crazy.
This is
That's crazy.
Yeah, I would-
crazy. Yeah. Do you?
Wait,
the
really,
thing
explain
is,
why.
I think.
What
Oh,
do you mean?
Go ahead.
Like,
Go ahead.
what do you mean by that? Like, explain why you think that.
Even just
If-
explain
Uh,
Rice over Saka in our team.
Yeah.
Explain Rice
Yeah,
over Saka
please.
for our
Why are
team.
you saying all those names?
Yeah,
to
I
Saka
just,
and
I
Son?
think, I don't
Yeah.
know. It just for this Chelsea team specifically as well. I don't think we need another right winger. I'd like Saka's like.
But what do you
cool and
think
all.
Neto?
No,
what do you
we're
think
just talking
Neto
about the
does
best.
over
We're
Saka?
talking about,
Cool and all,
the best
every
players.
time I
We're talking
watch
about the
Saka,
best
he
players.
don't wow me in it. Like Saka,
Love that
I
business.
don't know. He gets goals and assists, yeah. But if you look at the catalogue of it and stuff like that, I don't know, man. It's just I feel like
Alright, let
other
me
people have a
just
better
respond
impact.
He
to
than
also
him. I think
dribbles
Let me
better
respond.
than
Let me
Neto.
respond to
people
this.
that I named,
Hold up.
if they went
Hold up.
missing, would have
Yeah.
more detriment on Arsenal than Saka if Saka disappeared.
Alright, that's cool.
Mm.
Listen.
That's
We're
fine.
not talking about depth. We're not talking about depth for what we need. We're just talking about who's got the better team. Right? So now we're debating which players would start if we had a combined 11 or who's going to be better for winning a title, right? For me, I feel like it's Saka's become one of the most underrated players in like football discourse of recent times, and I don't know really why. Like you mentioned, it's their VD. He gets goals and assists. That's almost the end of because that's the most important thing when you talk about an attacking player. Yes, obviously you want maybe more aesthetics or more this and that, but he does create pretty good numbers. Again, he's also great on set pieces. We have to admit that too. And one thing about our wingers is I don't know if we got any wingers who guarantee you big numbers like that. Palmer can guarantee you big numbers, great. Jackson right now was on course to get 20 goals in the Prem, which is great. But Neto didn't have a great catalogue of scoring goals for Wolves. He didn't. Noni, he's had a decent start to the season in terms of numbers, but outside of the Wolves game, which was the hat trick, his numbers are just looking meh, not great. And then who else have we got? Obviously Sancho, not known for the most prolific in terms of goals, although we could have had a hat trick the other day. And then I'm not going to mention the Ukrainian guy. So yeah, we haven't got great goals in terms of our wingers. But Saka, he's proven that over 2, 3, 4 years that he will get you goals and assists and usually good performances to come with that as well. And he's been great this season. So
You know what?
Yeah.
You know
I'm
what?
still wrapping my
You
head
know what I
around
would
he
say,
said-
yeah?
Isn't it?
What
I'm
I
still
would
wrapping
say
my
is
head
that-
around how he said that Neto is better than Saka. I don't understand. There's not even
Nah.
like a.
I never said he
even
was better.
even
I
in-
said
I
I'd
think
take
the
him
vast
over Saka for
majority.
this
I
Chelsea
think the
team.
vast majority of our
Yeah,
wingers
but
right now
why
are
though?
work in
Because he's not.
progress.
Not only does he score
He's more
assists less,
explosive, can beat his man.
then how
he's
come he
got a
doesn't
very good
dribble? How
cross
come he
in
doesn't
him.
dribble better than Saka then?
I think VD likes the type of winger that he is. This is what it sounds like to me. He likes a direct
Yeah,
winger.
I
That
don't know. Every single
time.
time I watch Saka, is like I don't really see anything like super special. Like I don't see something that's like different. Again,
I hear what you guys are saying, but you're saying that he runs more. You guys realize Saka attempts more dribbles and completes more dribbles than Neto per game. And it's been like that for the last 2-3 seasons.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
people
not
just look
saying
at Saka
Saka's
and
bad.
they don't realize he actually is a very good dribbler because of the way he dribbles. He doesn't do step overs. He likes to like turn around his guy. So I think people
He uses
aesthetically
his
don't
body a
like
lot.
that.
Yeah.
He uses his body a lot,
Exactly.
but he still dribbles past people.
He drives a
I-
lot.
I-
Yeah,
He works.
that is true. That is
Go
true.
ahead.
No, I completely agree, which is why I don't know how you can take anybody right now other than even if you look at Salah, right? Again, Salah aesthetically
Yeah.
not great, but you would still take I would still absolutely take Salah
100%.
in this team. It'd be like saying, oh, I want Neto because he dribbles a bit better than Salah. I don't care about how clean you look. Get me goals and assists, brother. And Neto,
Yeah.
again, he's had a good
Exactly.
start to us,
And
but there's
What
better
I would-
wingers out there than Neto. We have to be honest with that.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, just on that as well, yeah, because obviously we got VD, man. He said that if Saka comes into the Chelsea team, you don't see him like doing something crazy or excelling the team if he comes into your team. Brother, this guy can go into Real Madrid and he'll excel their team, bro. That's the talent that we're talking about. He can go. This guy can walk into any team on the planet right now and he
Except
excels them
Liverpool.
massively. Of course, Liverpool's got Mohamed Salah. He's the best
Yeah.
winger in the league, 100%. But if Liverpool, if he leaves Liverpool,
Then yeah,
inshallah,
Saka.
inshallah he leaves. But if he leaves Liverpool, like, bro, that's it. Any team that he goes into, bro, he excels them. Even these Man City guys saying, "Oh no, he couldn't get into our team." Bro,
It's
he's
bullshit.
excelling your team.
Yeah.
Saka is the numbers that Saka puts up and the consistency in which he does it. He never has a season off. Never. Even last season, I think, or when we said, "Oh, he's starting off," I think he's having a season off. He's
Last
having
season,
an odd
yeah.
season, and then he beat his GA, bro. He beat his
Yeah.
goals and assists, bro. So it's
Yeah,
just
this-
the facts don't lie, bro. The facts don't lie about
It's
Saka.
just,
You know,
especially
what I
for
would
this Chelsea team, though, it's just like, I don't know. I'm taking others over here. Maybe I'll take him over Gabriel, but again, Raya would be more crucial. Erdegaard, I think, is your best player by a country mile. The fault, like, if people knew my account, before I blew up and started doing other things, I was so heavy on Declan Rice, and I still am. I think he's one of the best tacklers, not just in the league, in the world. His tackling technique is immense. He's great for counter attacks. He's great on corners. Like, I think Declan Rice and Caicedo, nobody's ever getting past that. Nobody. And Saliba is one of the best centre backs in the world. So it's like, I don't really see how Saka, I don't think he's more important than those players for Arsenal anyway. So I don't think he would benefit. I don't think he would benefit Chelsea as much as things.
Before we even get there, I was just gonna say, I think in terms of our own wingers, the vast majority of our wingers are work in progress, not finished articles. I would argue Saka is already pretty much a finished article because of what he's doing right now, and we probably need a finished article on the wing. Like Madueke, work in progress. Sancho, he's getting into form now. Maybe we start seeing the best of him, hopefully. Who's Neto? He's been hot and cold, I would probably say, more so than anything else. And then after that, we don't speak on anyone else, as the gentleman at the bottom says.
The funny thing is, Ahmed,
all I would have is Saka, Saliba, and
Exactly.
Raya. That's it.
Maybe
for me.
Gabriel. Maybe Gabriel.
Really?
I can't
You
trust
guys
Gabriel.
wouldn't
Maybe
take
Gabriel,
Timber as
because
right
I can't
back.
trust. I can't. I wouldn't.
Timber?
I would want Gabriel. No.
I even saw Suleiman mention it in the comments. I was gonna bring it up because Gusto has not been that good this season. Reece James is always injured. Timber, every time he's played, has looked solid. By the way,
To be
I
fair,
think the
going
thing with
forward,
Gusto
good
this season,
defensively.
though,
as well.
is that I think Gus has been put into a position where the manager's trying to get him to land that position, because like he's never inverted before in his entire career, so that's like a whole new ball.
And he's playing in like the final
Timber
third.
inverts already. Timber inverts now.
Yeah,
No,
but I trust
actually,
the trajectory
wait,
of Gusto to get there.
Gusto's getting played, and we've seen this through the season in final third pockets where he shouldn't be, and then being given the ball in them positions, and then being asked to execute and make the final passes. That's my problem. He shouldn't be in them positions. He should be further back, inverting, sitting next to Caicedo, or just playing as his right back. Like, I don't want to see him that far up the pitch, and that's why we've not really seen the best of him, because he's being asked to do things like I don't think actually suit what he.
But do you not
suits
want to
his-
see him at that side of the pitch because he's not good enough to do it, or because you just want him to focus on defending?
He hasn't. He's a defender. He's a right back. He's not a.
Yeah,
a
but
10.
if he was good at
Right.
it, if he was good at crossing in and getting in, you would not mind him going forward, right?
He can cross.
Yeah, fine. But then only Trent can really do that. Who else can do that to that level? Go into that pocket and start being able to.
I don't mean Yeah, I don't mean
And
in the
retain
terms of crossing ability, but you'd want a fullback who can attack well, right? Like
He does attack well.
That's
We
how
just don't
most
like him
teams
how he's
play.
attacking this season, because in this season we're requiring him to attack from like an inverted position, which is different because you need to be able to scan better, receive the ball better under
Exactly.
pressure, create, which obviously he hasn't got that full bag yet. Again, Gusto's one of the youngest players in our project, so him adapting to this new system, I can accept and understand. But again, just the point which Jason was going to ask me about my, I guess, combined 11 or what players I would take. To be clear, again, I don't need to speak on goalkeeper. That speaks for itself. Saliba, obviously, I'm taking Gabriel quite comfortably over Colwell, and I rate Colwell quite highly. He's having a good season. Big games, he's struggled a little bit with some of the more physical strikers, but Gabriel's proven himself for years now, and he's performing at a top level. So of course I'd take him. Again, if everybody's fit, of course Reece James would start, but it's been a long time since we can say that. So yeah, I'm happy with Gusto. This season he's not been great, so I would actually take Timber. Timber is an Arsenal player that I do rate quite highly. I think he's cold. Would take him. Left back, I'm taking Cuckoo comfortably. Where maybe it gets a bit controversial, though, for me, it's quite cut and dry. I don't need to see Declan Rice in my team at all. I'm very happy with my midfielders. Absolutely happy with my midfielders. And again, Saka obviously is more important to either team than a Rice would be. I think that's quite clear. So again, it will be any midfielder combination that we have. I'm taking that. Saka obviously right wing. Left wing, yeah, Sancho. Sancho's been great. And I was, again, when I saw that we could get him for 25 million, in fact, we're getting him on loan and then an obligation of 25 million if we finish top 14, which we will. I was laughing my head off because he literally showed you what he's capable of doing at Dortmund. Got to a Champions League final playing amazing football and was cooking some of the best fullbacks in Europe. So why would he not go and do that in a system like ours? It just made complete sense to me that he was going to do this. So no surprise there. His numbers are going to even get better through the season. And then striker, of course I'm taking Jackson. I mean, come on, he scored already the same amount of goals Havertz got for us in like 90 less games or something crazy like that. Listen, the fact that you guys pay like your project, I have to say that your project finished from going and finishing 8th twice in a row, right? And then getting 5th and then going to a title challenge, right? It's a great elevation. And Arteta's done great things. Your board and all these things, they've done pretty good things. But where your whole project really took a massive L for me was giving Kai Havertz 295k a week. You've got players like Saka there, Odegaard there, guys who've been busting the balls, doing great things. Saliba can easily go and start for Real Madrid right now. Why are you going to give Havertz that kind of money when he was a flop pretty much for Chelsea? Makes no sense to me. And then in the windows going past that, where is your big signing for an attacking player? There's no one there. You're still relying on Martinelli, who's looking rough. Trossard, who's just a bench guy, maybe an impact sub at best. Jesus, who's clearly washed since the injury. And now you've got Havertz as your focal point. Like, it's crazy to me that. So that's my team. But Havertz as your main guy is madness. Madness.
I just limit to the next question. Where he's covered obviously the league. I am aware that Ash and Ahmed have been giving us that response. I'm going to ask you two separate questions that follows on Ad's question. Is basically what player from an opposition team would you take that you think would elevate you to win the league, not compete to win it? Chelsea's a bit different scenario because we've only been doing this for 15 games, so it's a bit peak. Whereas Arsenal have been there for 2 years. But which player, for you two in particular, if you haven't responded to the other question, would you take from another team that would elevate you to the league? So one player. I'll start with Ahmed.
I think this one's a little bit hard because, like, for me, I think if I look at us right now, we're scoring quite well. So even though I would probably take Saka, I would probably have to say Saliba because I think defensively we need this defensive as much defensive stability as possible. So I'd probably have to say Saliba in this current moment.
Let's go around like this. BD, based on what Ahmed just said, if we had Saliba in our team, do you think that improves Sanchez?
I don't think you could improve Sanchez, bro. I'll be real. I think he's...
Sanchez
is what he is, isn't it?
Man. That's what
Chelsea fans, we just need to accept this is what Sanchez is, isn't it? Like, sometimes he's an amazing shot stopper. It doesn't matter who you put in front of him, innit? I know the whole thing is supposed to be, but it can help with shot quality if you're getting players in the way. But Sanchez is what he is. He's not going to improve no matter who you put in front. Bro, he had Thiago Silva in front of him. Come on, man. Like, you know what I mean?
That's good. I think about that. You had Thiago Silva, to be fair. Ash, who would you take from Chelsea that would win you the league?
Who would improve me? I can answer that. But who would win me the league? It's very difficult to say anyone because the reality is the first player I thought of in mind is Caicedo. That's the guy I just literally praised as the best midfielder. But the problem is that even though Caicedo will be an upgrade on Partey, if we're talking about Partey of this season, while he's an upgrade, won't be like such an elevation because Partey has been amazing this season. If this was Partey that was crap, for example, if it was Jorginho, I would have said, oh my God, it's night and day. Caicedo takes us to a massive level. I think Caicedo improves us, but I think Partey has been fantastic this season that I don't think the improvement will be significant enough for us to win the league.
See that left wing right there, Kavicha.
I don't really agree with that. Saad, as an Arsenal fan, do you agree with that? Do you actually think no players from Chelsea can prove you to win the league?
I was going to say Nicholas Jackson, by the way, but I don't know if he will stay consistent. That's my concern with Jackson.
I mean, Ryan, this season, he's been quite consistent after the. I think he's 8 in what? 14 or 18?
He has.
He's
He has. But I told this and I said this in Judge Mo's channel last week.
I think we need to dissect is we need to dissect where are Arsenal going wrong, because we might all disagree where they're going wrong. Some might think it's the chance creation. Some might think it's the finishing. Some might think it's the squad depth. Some might think it's the management. So therefore, the question I just gave can't answer all of those like segments. So it's like it depends what you think. So Saad, where do you think
it's the left-hand side? I mean, not to say, but for me, it's the left-hand side.
Just use the left. Let me go around here for Saad response. One word only, like 2 words, whatever. Where in Arsenal's team do they need to improve the most? Jem can start. Like, what position would you say they need to improve on the most?
Arsenal.
Yeah, for Arsenal. When you're
definitely the left. I mean, to be quite honest, I'm probably going to say left wing. I think they lack. I know they've got players there, but I just think Martinelli's really. He's just struggling. He's not the Martinelli that I'm used to seeing, and I don't know whether that's just because this is him. This is him in terms of his development phase, and this is what you're going to get. But I just think Arsenal could do with someone off the left that's maybe providing as much, not say as much as Saka, but at least giving something, off the left in goals and assists as well. So I would say left wing or left back for them. To be honest.
Ads left as well, right? Ads said left.
Left and striker. To be fair, like if you got let's say an Isak, then you could probably get away with a meaty-ish kind of left winger. Because if you had Isak, that's guaranteed goals, which Havertz is not getting you.
Yeah.
This striker stuff is always confusing me, man. Because every year I'm hearing Arsenal the striker, and then they just never get the striker. So it's like,
listen, they burnt their bridge with Gyökeres.
They fixed Havertz, so they don't need a striker. I guess, innit? A lot of Arsenal fans say they fixed Havertz. So
the annoying thing is this summer when he went for a striker, freaking goes for Benjamin Sesko. Like, thank God Benjamin Sesko rejected it, because if Benjamin Sesko accepted this contract and joined us, I would have broken my laptop. I don't want a 20-year-old. I don't want a 20-year-old striker, bro. Enough. I'm done with this shit. Enough with the 20-year-old. He's too young. He's not proven.
He's spitting. He's spitting.
Bro, Timo Werner was killing the Bundesliga. Don't tell me this. He's not even the top scorer in his own team. Openda is the better striker in the team, and you're trying to get me a 20-year-old second striker.
Openda would actually help you out on your left winger as well.
It's embarrassing, bro. It's embarrassing.
If you're in it, mate.
Bro, summer, I don't give a shit if he costs 150 million. Go give that money to Newcastle and get Isak.
So now you got the response in the panel. Their thoughts. Now you can for like what if you agree with Ads, Jem, Ahmed.
You know what? Listen, Ash can tell you this, bro, because we've done so many shows together, and I was always like striker. But that left wing is fucked.
Now it's left wing. Yeah.
That left position, left wing is fucked, bro. Sorry to swear, Ches, bro, but it's mash up, bro. The thing mash up, bro. It's done, bro. That left side is. I'm done. You know what? The thing is, I'm actually the biggest Martinelli supporter, bro. Like I cover for this guy. I support him all the time, bro. You know what I mean? And listen, I could come out here and say, you know what, Calafiori wasn't in the team. He didn't have support. But bro, offside, and you're looking down the line, bro. And you're still offside, bro. This is Timo Werner settings. This is no longer like a decent player that we're talking about. Bro, this is Timo Werner settings with the stupid mistakes. How can you be offside? Like, and the thing is, if we score that goal, bro, we're chilling right now. It's cool.
Yeah.
Next game, we're all good. We got past. It was a rough game. It was tough. Do you know what I mean? Fulham made it shit for us, even though we freaking dominated most of the game in all other aspects, apart from actually putting the ball in the back of the net. But bro, if we scored that goal and he wasn't offside, bro, it's all good. We move on to the next game. That was a bad performance. But bro, to be offside from that, and listen, Trossard,
Sad,
I don't
even
know what's going
outside
on
the
with him.
offside, he did nothing. He did nothing that game.
Yeah. He was just He's just running around, bro. And the thing is,
His
I'm
quality-
sick and
his
tired.
quality is
There's
starting
one
to-
thing, bro. Martinelli before, yeah, like before. I used to see Martinelli. He'd get the ball, yeah, and he'd just run. He'd make the person try and catch him. Now this guy starts waiting for defenders to come through. Like, I don't know what you're trying to do. Just
Sterling does that
enhance.
as well, you
Are
know.
you? I don't know what they're trying to do. Are you trying to enhance your inner Neymar? Do you want to take the guy on and just be like, okay, now stand in front of me so I can try and take? Like, bro, just run with the ball, bro. You don't need to sit there waiting for the defender to come to you and then you try to do something. Like, you a camera winger or something, bro. You're trying to look good for the cameras. Like, this
And he
is
does
what
the
pisses me
same
off now,
shit move every time
Exactly.
when he knocks the ball this way, knocks the ball this way.
Yeah.
No one has fallen for it.
bro.
Not a single fullback has gone like, oh shit.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
shit.
bro.
Not one. He always
Oh,
does it,
mate.
and it never works. And he's like, okay, I'll pass back. Freaking
I'm
fake
you know what?
Brazilian,
I'm
bro.
sick. I'm sick.
He's
and tired
actually a
of that
fake
whole
Brazilian.
left
He's
side,
Italian,
bro.
by the way. He's
I'm
originally
sick.
Italian. He's not even Brazilian.
I'm sick of that.
Bro,
left
he's
side,
from
bro. And
Bolivia,
I think
bro.
Gem.
Nah,
I think.
nah,
I
nah.
think.
We got
I
Italian
think
borders,
Gems.
man. We can't
Gems,
be doing
bro.
that, man.
I think Gems spitting, bro. Because listen, and to be honest, everybody that said the left side, bro, because the left side is a massive issue now. The left side is a massive issue. You got Martinelli who stinks at the moment, and you've got Trossard who wants to start, but when he starts, like, it's so 50-50 now. I don't know what happened to him from last season. Because last
Yeah.
season, falling out, bro. Last season, it was like, yeah, you know what? Trossard's looking mad. Trossard might actually be able to be the starting winger, bro, and actually play and consistently get games and score for us. But I don't know what's happened to him this season. Like, I don't know whether it's because maybe it's because Arteta.
No.
Like,
Stop.
Martinelli.
It's not this season. It's been longer than this season. It's been the last 2 years. So what are we doing here?
No, I'm
He
talking
hasn't
about Trossard.
Wow.
I'm talking about Trossard. I'm
Oh,
talking
I
about
thought
Trossard, not Martinelli.
Trossard's a
Yeah,
superstar.
no,
I
Martinelli.
Yeah.
I'm saying I think Trossard fell off because he probably thinking, bro, this guy's shit, and he's like but
Yeah, you need
Mikel Arteta's
competition,
playing him
innit?
in front of
Yeah.
me. No, but he's probably thinking like Mikel Arteta's playing the gaffer's playing him in front of me.
Oh yeah.
Yet
might
last
play my-
season I was balling out for these man, and I was scoring important goals because Trossard was scoring important goals for us last season.
It
Bro.
was. I remember it.
Against Porto,
Yeah.
bro, that goal was massive. That goal
Against
was massive.
United, against Chelsea, he
United,
opened scoring in
everything,
both
bro.
games.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Chelsea, he scored
Fact.
the equalizer, bro, away at Stamford
Yeah.
Bridge. Bro.
Yeah. Oh, against Chelsea away as
Bro.
well. I forgot that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that
Let's
was
go.
against Sanchez.
Look at everyone in the chat, by the way.
Nah,
All
the
the
second goal
pundits
wasn't
here.
Sanchez. Stop doing that, Ahmed.
Listen, Martinelli,
Ahmed's too
you know who
funny,
it was,
wallah.
man.
That
You
is-
know?
I said that was Sanchez.
That's cheeky. That's cheeky. But big up everyone in the chat. Hope you're enjoying the content. The final topic before we close out. Question is,
So,
Who
Chad,
can go
sorry,
first?
before you go to the last topic, I'm just going to say
Go on,
something
Ash.
which might trigger you guys.
no, say it.
You know how
Mm.
you know how you asked earlier, like with Saliba, let's say Saliba and Gabriel, not just Saliba. Let's say Saliba and Gabriel, would they help cover the Sanchez's deficiencies? I feel like they might. You know why I say this? Because you guys know that Sanchez ranks second in the league, only behind Alisson for save percentage. He has the second highest save percentage, and he don't, wait, not just that. He doesn't just have a high save percentage of 77.8%, which is second in the league, only after Alisson. He also faces like the top 3 or top 4 shots in the league.
Yeah.
So he
I don't care
saves
about
quite high.
Hey, cool.
Bro,
Look at
this
Ash.
is
Look,
gaslighting
look
at its finest,
That is
bro.
the worst. That's the most
If
shameless
Saliba
sentence I've
and
ever heard in
Gabriel
my
are
life.
ahead of him,
This
he
is
gets a goal
gaslighting at
less.
its finest, bro.
You have to have these, and you have to watch what he does on the.
Look at
because-
Jem's face during the whole thing was
I'm going to
like,
be extremely pedantic here. I'm back.
No.
Just,
I can't listen to that shit.
just for the sake of
But
it,
Abby-
yeah, listen to this, yeah.
Anyway,
This is question for Ahmed, VD, Gem, and Ad specifically, yeah? So I can listen out and respond when he needs to. Is it a case of Sanchez is more bozo when it comes to with his feet than actually with his
Yes.
hands?
Yeah.
Because I
Yes.
don't think Sanchez's issue is actually that shot stopping or like positioning at times. It's more like his decision making. But can that be coached out of you? Yes. So is Ash's point really that wild?
I think Ash's point for me is that they would protect. They would.
If you had Saliba and Gabriel yesterday,
Yeah.
Cucurella makes the same mistake. Okay, that's poor example. Cucurella made a mistake. Not the same.
No, but then Gabriel might stop Solanke's run. So yeah, he's right. The point that Ash is making is that would they don't make a goalkeeper better. They just protect the goalkeeper. That's all it is. Because they protected Ramsdale when Ramsdale was having a bit of an iffy season at Tower race.
Yeah,
they were protecting him. So I hear that point. But in terms of Sanchez, right, the numbers that he produced, they're funny, right? But listen, the numbers don't lie. They tell the truth, but they don't tell the full story. And for me, what we feel about eyes like Jem is insinuating, which is very true, is that this guy has a lot of bozo moments. And even with the saves, I remember him throwing the Kovacic shot early in the season into the net. The Martinelli goal at the near post, he should be covering the near post better. There's many other instances where he makes some bad saves. Now, he's also, I think Sanchez has the ability to do a lot of things really well at a high level for a goalkeeper. He can claim crosses quite well. He can make some really outstanding saves, yes. But at the end of the day, this guy is good for a bozo moment at least once a game, if not multiple times in a game, with his feet, with his hands, decision making, coming out to things that he doesn't need to come out for.
For 90 minutes, bro. He can't contribute for 9 minutes.
Exactly. Like, bro, it wouldn't surprise me if he did an interview in Spanish doing something like Ramsdale did, saying that, I can't concentrate, so I look at the fans and do all this nonsense, right? It wouldn't surprise me because at the end of the day, while he's quite talented and physically quite capable, mentally he's not, and that's what you need to be a top goalkeeper.
Guys, but you do have to fix the fact.
I think the issue with Sanchez for me is that when you give him too much time to think about what he's got to do, he can't think.
Yeah,
exactly.
But you guys do have to.
I think what makes it worse a lot of the time, is that he will make like the mistakes he makes is actually in crucial moments of the game, like you know when we're like under the cosh or when we're winning, and then like
quick reaction, didn't he? Like he just goes like that, and it's like he doesn't think about it, and it's like, what a save! Yeah, great. But then when he's got the ball,
you know what?
And the defenders do this, and then you've got to make the
execution. This one was worse, yeah. You know, Solanke's first goal. He was in the wrong position and he was on the floor when the goal went in. Like, I was like, bro, that's just your fault. Who are you blaming?
Do you know what it is about
doing backstroke? Like, it's your fault.
You know what it is about Sanchez, yeah? Here's the thing, yeah. For me,
it's not Chelsea.
Like when I look at a goalkeeper, yeah, the thing that stands out for me the most as a red flag is when you can't protect your near post. That's something that stands out for me. Like, listen, everybody concedes at their near post sometimes. Yeah, even the best goalkeepers, we've seen them concede. We've seen Czech, we've seen Seaman, we've seen freaking. We've even seen some of the best goalkeepers. Buffon, they've conceded at the near post. Even Alisson's conceded at the near post, but it rarely happens. So when it happens, you're like, oh shit. The guy scored at the near post against Alisson or this or that. Yeah, to Stegen. Okay.
He doesn't.
You think, oh shit, they've scored against him at the near post. But when goalkeepers do it so regularly, bro, I'm like, bro, that's a red flag because that can start to go into the attacker's mind. And no, if I'm on the near post or I'm at the near post, I can get this in because he's not.
The only thing I'll say to that, Saad, while I agree with that premise, but the thing is, this is where Chelsea really need to fix this ASAP. They concede a lot of shots. If you look at the top 7 teams right now in the league, they concede more than everyone. They're like Liverpool at 48, Chelsea are at 63, bro. Even Arsenal at 55, so we are less than them, and we have not been good defensively this season. You look at Man City, who have been abysmal. They've been absolute crap this season, and Man City are at like 43, right?
Ash, I think
Aston Villa is also less than you guys.
I think that's quickly. I think that's more to do with just the high risk football that we play. We play with a very high line. We play with a lot of attackers on the pitch. We play very risky because what we do is we play from the back and we ask the opposition to come, and then we just instead of hoofing the ball, we'll play that ball into Caicedo, even though he's being marked, and because he's quite press resistant like Lavia, they can utilize their abilities to get out of them positions. It's that.
But here's the thing, Jem.
So we always
there's a rebuttal.
Bozo moments is because we always play such a high risk type of football. Like it's just.
I agree, Jem. But the rebuttal to that is, I think Spurs play a much higher risk game than you. Sometimes to a stupid point. Sometimes to a point where they commit people unnecessarily, and they concede way less shots than you guys. They concede 41 shots to your 63, which is why I'm saying
that's because we pass them the ball. and then we can see. That's usually what happens. We do say
Actually, a big part of
Wait,
that
wait,
is that
wait,
Sanchez
let's
is
break
giving
this
half
down,
those
yeah?
passes away. Like,
Let's
Sanchez
break
is
this down.
passing them.
Ash, is your point of call like is a quality or a system issue? What your point is?
No,
Is it not
I
just-
look. I think it's both because I do in my. I know you guys might not like this. I don't rate your centre backs. I think Fofana and Colwell have good moments, but I think they do make
Yeah.
errors. I don't think they give keepers a lot of confidence. I don't think they ask for. It's people think defenders. It's just about defending. It's also about collecting the ball from the keeper and beating the press and giving it to your DM, giving it to. I don't think Colwell and Fofana give that sort of confidence. But I also agree with Jem that it is a system issue. The only thing with the system is that Spurs, I feel, play more suicidal football, and they don't concede as much. I'm actually going to
We
check
got
Brighton because
Brighton,
Brighton.
but it's just.
You know,
I agree with that.
See,
Yeah, go
even
on.
Brighton, who play proper suicidal football, even they less than you guys. They're at 59, right?
you know-
That's
do
why
you
I'm saying there is an issue there.
Do you know Colwell, yeah? And I listen, I said this and I'll say it again, yeah. I feel like Colwell needs the Saliba next to him. He needs a good centre back to
Yeah.
because I feel like he's similar to Gabriel, where at the top, like at the highest
Agree.
moments of pressure, he'll make like odd decisions and stupid tackles and shit like that. He needs a good centre back next to him to give
Prime
him that
Thiago
calm,
Silva.
to give him that calm to say, you know what, pass me the ball if you're fucked. If you're feeling under pressure, pass me the ball and then I can pass it back to you and gain his confidence. Now you rarely see Gabriel ever make a mistake because Saliba's next to him. He knows I've got that passing lane straight right next to me to pass to him.
I agree.
That's why I think the most important. I know people are saying striker is so important for Chelsea. I think the most important thing is getting a starting centre back, somebody of like a maybe not a world class level. If you can get a world class centre back, of course get one. But somebody that comes in that's similar to or on their way to the world class. You know, Saliba when he first came, he wasn't world class, but he had like that talent, bro. You could see it was different. You need somebody like that, or you need somebody on the brink of world class, something like that. Do you know what I mean? Diomande, bro.
Diomande,
by the way,
Diomande,
Diomande, stay as far away from that guy as possible,
horrendous.
bro. When he came up against us, bro, this guy lost his mind, bro. And that's just from Havertz just sitting there barging into him and shit and pissing him off. If Havertz could get into your mind like that, bro, which listen, I think Havertz is very good at that anyway. But Havertz getting into his mind like that, bro, completely messing him up for the rest of the game where he's making random tackles. Like, it's crazy, bro. He's shown, I don't think he could really, you know what I mean, do it at the top.
Boys, I'm going to ditch you, but big up. Nice having a chat with you guys, and I'll see you all later. Yeah?
Big up.
Big up, bro. Big up.
Literally, last final 5 minutes or so before we head off. You're 100% Sal, man. It's interesting. All these players are talking about. They are top players. When it comes to winning the league, you have to be kind of critical, innit? And like decipher who's good enough and who's not. Because at the end of the day, like what's it called? There's no like sympathy when it comes to winning sports. Like when it comes to high level sports, even when you play football on the weekends or any sport you play tennis, when it comes to improving, you have to be critical, else you're not going to improve. Like it's not in it. So for me, Chelsea's at that stage where we kind of need to get right because we don't end like Arsenal and just be a decent team and not really win anything. You need to be an elite team to win stuff, right? So that's what Arsenal, like I'd said before, about the signings they made and the money they're paying Havertz on. They haven't made the right decisions in these small margins, and that's why they're falling short. And even though their fans see signings made, they see money being spent, it doesn't equal winning. Doesn't always equal that. So you need to find a balance when it comes to this sort of thing. So it's interesting conversations, man. What I was going to say was the managers. This last 5 minutes, guys, so let's make it brief. Who's been like, let me ask the rivals first, Saad. What's Maresca done from your point of view when you've watched our games? What's the main thing you see different to this season to last season with Chelsea? Tactics aside, like what do you see about him that's like, wow, like, oh, I see something there?
I think one of the main things for me is just the way he's able to keep calm in the interviews, even though some of the questions he's been asked is outrageous, bro. I see some weird stuff that they asked this guy in press conferences. But him staying calm in press conferences, also on the pitch, you can see like he's able to use up his team. Of course, he's made mistakes. And everybody's gonna make mistakes. Do you know what I mean? He's fresh into the league. To be honest, he's outdone massively what I thought, bro. I thought this guy was a schmuck, bro. I thought he was going to come in, you know, was with Leicester in the Championship and barely made promotion, bro. Because towards the end, they started to dwindle down, bro, and start losing games and dropping points in odd times, bro. So I thought he was gonna come here. I didn't think he'd be able to handle the top level. I didn't think he'd be able to handle like the Premier League, bro. But he's come in, handled it, been able to get one thing straight, which is, and it's one thing that I said, which I was like, you know what, I actually rate him for that. He said we don't want to rely on Cole Palmer. And that's something that you needed to get into the team's head. Like you don't want to think as if Cole Palmer isn't even that good of a player, and you're better than him because you want to try and perform to that same level. You want to all be at that level where it's not just one player. Oh, it's okay. I can just pass to Cole Palmer and he'll do something. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, it ends up if you stop Cole Palmer in the game, that's it. Chelsea's done for the day. So I think him being able to install that mindset into the players, I think is something that's massive, because you can see now that a lot of other players are trying to take on their man, trying to getting on goal. Do you know what I mean? Nicholas Jackson's improving, which to be honest, I didn't see. I thought it was a bozo, but this season, he's performed very well. But yeah, listen, I think he's done very well at handling the team, being able to improve the players massively to where they were last season, which they're very inconsistent. You can see now they're a bit more consistent and able to perform in games. So it's definitely different, man. But yeah, I think he's definitely improved.
Facts. I agree with everything you just said there. And BD as well, after Saad's points, yeah. What do you think Maresca needs to change moving forward in the next few games until we get to the halfway mark in the season?
I'm not sure if it's Maresca specifically that needs to change anything. I think everything that you set up right now seems to be fine, seems to be working. I think, again, a lot of our issues, I think, just come from individual errors from players. So I don't necessarily think that it's his thing to change anything, because, I mean, he tried the thing with Gusto, right, with inverting, almost like playing as a 10, and it didn't work, and he just cut it out straight next game. He said, yeah, do you know what, we're not going to run that again. So we know he's learning from his mistakes. I think the only thing that can make us better, or at the moment, would be just getting a better goalkeeper. And for me, as much as I love Jackson and as much as I rate him, yeah, every single time I watch Jackson play, I can't help but see, like, he just hasn't got the grit. And that's the one thing that annoys me, is he hasn't got the grit. It was last game where he was shoulder to shoulder with someone, and I'm thinking, thump it, hit it, like, just hit it. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you see Isaac's goal the other day, where he roofed it. Jackson ain't got that in his bag, man. He's got everything else, but he ain't got the ball striking. So I think the only thing that's going to really improve us isn't anything to do with Maresca. I think it's to do with him needing maybe a world-class goalkeeper. And for me, Gyökeres, 2-footed, move into the channels, in behind, hold up play, link up play, good in the air. You know, he has the things that Jackson lacks. So I don't think Maresca's got anything wrong. I don't really think it's not like only a handful of things that you could say maybe Maresca's done wrong, but he's changed in it. Like he's counteracted it. So I don't think anything
last few. Yeah, I agree with the Gyökeres point, by the way. I do hear what you're saying, just something a bit different to Jackson, because Jackson hasn't got that. He's not as ruthless as I want to. So, do you agree with what he said briefly, or we head off?
I think definitely there's things that Maresca can do to improve the team. He's done a lot of things great, but I think we definitely need to find a solution for this wide centre back issue. Because again, we kind of identified that we want Colwell to always be the centre back, whether we play with I don't even want to get too technical on it. But basically, like, obviously you saw how Badiashile was right centre back to start the game. Then he moved to left centre back. I thought he was awful both positions. So then you look at the replacements, right? With Fofana out, we have Tosin, who really should only be playing in the middle because of how big and stiff he is. And his passing is quite good, so I wouldn't mind him there. And for me, that would be the solution: is you play him there, and then you have Cole will be the left centre back and defend the channels, which he can do pretty well. It's not his best position. Again, it's not going to be him playing left back like he was on the Poch. I think left centre back, defending channels, he will do it better than Badiashile. And you put Tosin there, because if we put the Sassi wide areas, I'm not comfortable. And then there's nobody else really there. I mean, there's only Vega, but I think at this point I would rather Tosin be in there. I'd give us a bit more height and physicality. Put Cobble to the left. I want to see that change be made. But otherwise, no, I've liked the idea of putting Caicedo as an inverted fullback. It means we get Lavia into the midfield and obviously still have Enzo pushing up. And how he was defending against Tottenham was great. On top of obviously the performance, the passes, the creativity, it was a great all-round performance. But defensively, you could see he was putting himself about like a captain, and I love to see that. And again, rival fans probably wouldn't have given him his credit until he got the goal. He got the goal, so now I don't give him the credit. So I'm happy he got the goal. But outside of that, what he's been doing of late, I want to see him continue to keep doing that. But even just to talk on Arteta quickly, because I can't go off talking about Arteta. Listen, man, I look at it and you lose Zinchenko, who's your second choice left back, and you don't go to Lewis Kelly, who you brought on against Man City. I feel like he's good enough to at least start games against Fulham away. Why not? But you change your system, and like Ash was saying, your best midfielder this season, obviously you're outside of Odegaard, but your best like defensive midfielder this season, Partey, you move him to right back, and then you move Timber to left back. I feel like that's a lot of pieces being moved around, which you didn't need to do. And then I look at someone like a Rice in there. I'm not saying that Arteta needs to take him out, but can you get more out of him in open play? Because set pieces, fantastic. You look like a prime Juninho from Leon. Great, but like you're £100 million midfielder, my brother. Like you need to do more in the game. And he was pretty good against United second half. Outside of the set pieces, cool. But in general, this has been a pretty meaty season from Declan Rice. You need to see more from him. And again, I just wonder if his complacency with the attack and the team and how it's been has kind of led you to where you are now, where you're 8 points off where you were last season. I mean, if you were where you were last season, this season, you would be 2 points clear of Liverpool right now. Yeah, they would have a game in hand, but you'd be top of the table right now as it stands. Right now, you're so many points off, and I have to look at, and you guys have to look at the manager, because you talk about the players on a lot, and you've had some injuries and red card moments, this and the other. But Arteta is the coach, and people are saying he's the second best manager in this league. Well, Pep's clearly number one, and he's fell off. So why is he now behind Arne Slot?
Exactly.
So tough questions need to be asked of the manager.
Fair points. Ahmed?
I just think, in general, with Chelsea, I always say probably need another striker archetype. I think Gui, unironically, is technically the archetype, but he's way too young. So like we needed to get another guy that is similar to that. I think obviously another centre back probably is necessary. Another goalkeeper. The Jorgensen transfer kind of still confuses me, because it's like, why did you Petrovic right now is doing what Jorgensen, with all due respect, is doing right now at Ligue 1, and I watch Ligue 1 quite regularly. So it's like, should we not have just brought the other guy in France that was really good for us? Like
100%. It was a disgraceful transfer. Signing Brighton's backup and keeping him as our main keeper.
There's a guy, in Ligue 1 now, that people are noticing him just now, called Chevalier, That guy, if we had brought him last season, we could have bought him for the same amount of money we bought Jorgensen for. He would have been our number one right now, bro. Good, great ball movement, can do the stuff that needs to be done, can play for 90 minutes, and is a really young goalkeeper, and could have done that for us.
Yep.
But
hearing people say Chevalier as well. I've never watched him, but I heard a lot of people saying about him as well.
I've heard his name going around as well. I've heard it.
Yeah, like even if people don't want him, I would always say Bolker's doing a great job at Nice right now.
That's who I wanted.
Yeah, so again, there were options out there that you could have got for the same price as Jorgensen, but
by the way, Jorgensen could have been our number one, but we've just stuck with Sanchez, who again wasn't good enough to deserve beat Brighton.
Like, I don't trust Jorgensen because of his time at Villarreal. Because when I watched him at Villarreal, he's shot stopping. He's the opposite of like Sanchez. Where Sanchez actually shot stopping is actually what he's usually good at. Jorgensen's shot stopping is where his issue actually is. Like, he will parry the ball into opposition. Like, that was happening quite a few. That used to be his big thing at Villarreal, where he would parry the ball into opposition, and they would get the rebound, and then they would be able to score from that. Basically, that was his whole thing.
Fair enough. Again, from what I've seen, I think he's been all right. I personally wanted Alvaro Valles from Las Palmas.
He's not a bad option. Yeah.
Again, he's experienced, a bit more of a leader. Like, that's all like stuff we need. But you went for a backup young goalkeeper to a guy who was a backup at Brighton. It's ridiculous.
So obviously, as I said, goalkeeper, probably a centre back, and like another backup striker. That's what we really need. And I think if you have those pieces, if you want to say title charge, then I think that's more than what you're more than welcome to say so.
I think that's fair enough. I hear what you man are saying, man. It's decent conversation, actually. It's quite optimistic for both sides, but we have to see how it plays out.
I wouldn't say for the other side. I don't think it's optimistic for the other side.
No, but Arsenal, in terms of they're not out of it, that's what I would say. Because I think someone said before that, I think Ash said it, where they're underperforming their level last season, year before. So
but you know what's a real thing, Ches? Stagnation is a real thing. You can go through stagnation. Right now, what they're going through.
Yeah.
I
But
thought what
I'm honestly, guys. I agree with what you're saying, Amajay, but I'm under the impression that Chelsea won't sustain this.
we
So
were
I don't
sustain
mind.
is guaranteed. I agree.
I don't mind saying we're in a title race right now. So if we fall out
Mhm.
of it in 3-4 games time, no one's gonna be like, "Oh, you bottled it."
Mhm.
IQ needs to be questioned. They say that, but I feel
Yeah.
like at the same time, it's like Chelsea. I can't see us keep going. So if we were to keep going, all four of us Chelsea fans here would be surprised. We wouldn't be like, "Oh, what? I kind of expected this." If in game week 20 we're still 6 points behind Liverpool or less, we will definitely be shocked. As a fact, I'll speak for you. I don't think Chelsea's fans expect us to beat Everton away, Fulham, what's it called, Brentford at home, and then the other game we got. They're tough
Well,
games.
I mean,
Like,
I kind of do based on the form
you
that the
expect us
boys
to
have shown, man.
expect this, yeah? We head off. We expect this.
No, I didn't
What?
expect us to be here at this point now, but now we're here. I do expect us to keep up pretty decent form, and I think again my goal of the season was to get around mid 70s, maybe high 70s for points, maybe even like 80 points. That would be a great total, and that would have definitely got us top four, maybe third. Looking at it now, I think maybe we can get maybe mid 80s. I think that's probably our ceiling, mid 80s. And in terms of a title, listen, going into the season, we're used to seeing City, Arsenal get like 90 points, 95, even 100 points. Liverpool and City have done that. So obviously we couldn't win a league title if that's what the bar is. This Liverpool team right now, yes, their ceiling is probably about 95 points, maybe, but I could see them easily finish mid 80s. I think they could go on and have a sticky run of form, especially if they get injuries in key
I
areas.
hear
So
this one, yeah. I
it's
reckon Liverpool are going to
potential
drop
for
points
us to
against
go and do
Spurs.
something.
I think they'll drop.
I
I think
hope so.
Liverpool at some
That
point will
could
drop
happen.
points.
And
If
that
Liverpool
opens up
loses
if that
Spurs,
happens.
we are back in the race.
Yeah.
Guys,
But the
I'm
thing is,
gonna
let
add
me just
some
say one
realism
thing though
here.
quickly. Arsenal, the stagnation is a great point. They could be stagnating, but they
I'm loving
cannot afford for that. They need to win this Premier League because City will be back. We will be better. Liverpool will probably still be there. Arsenal, you need to win it now. Because if you
That's
don't win it now, then what's all this phase 5 and 6 for? Like,
No,
you
no,
gotta win a
honestly
league title.
speaking, I know we're meant to end, but honestly speaking, Arsenal winning this season is like it's not even long in terms of banter. It's more like I genuinely can't see Arsenal being the same Arsenal. Player wise, their mentality, players like Odegaard and Sleep are still going, raw. So you're telling me 3-4 years of this, and Chelsea competing with us as well. These men
That's
are
why
our
I said
age.
to you. That's why I always said year 3.
These
Yeah,
men are young people. They're not like older guys. They're young.
It doesn't
Like,
hurt
they're
you.
impressive.
It hurts your players, bro.
And Real Madrid need a centre back. Real Madrid need a centre back, you know. So, boy, they
Actually,
need to get it
be
done
careful,
now.
man. This process, yeah, could end very, very abruptly. Very, very messy. All it takes.
You know what I say, man?
is
You gotta
one
finish the
Maybe
player.
story.
Rudiger back, man.
You
Well,
gotta
they
All
do
it
that.
takes
Necessity,
is
innit?
one
Well, that
player,
Cody
yeah.
Rhodes about a title, yeah. Hey,
That's what they're doing right now, bro. That's what they're doing right now, man.
I don't end up like Dolph Ziggler, man. I don't allow that, man. Come on, Arsenal. Gotta
Anyway,
win
people,
something.
we're now on 22
Oh,
minutes.
sick,
Big
man.
up everyone who joined. VD, Ahmed, Ash, Ads, Jem, who just left before, and Saad. Big up all the man them. Try and get his panel regularly if we can. Big up everyone in the chat and the playback. So a lot of you watch this when you're eating food, traveling, doing work. A lot of you comment
the
as well and
gym.
say that. Big in the gym, exactly. So big everyone who's listening in and will listen in the future. Don't forget to subscribe button, not just to me, but to all the panelists. And when I add their Twitter handles, like for example, Ads, he has a lot of analytical breakdowns on Twitter and his opinions on there, and Jem as well. So yeah, big up for love, man. We'll see you soon. Tomorrow. Love.
Love.